Hello guys and welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video. And in this video I will be talking about the new spin-off manga series, Letter from Keisuke Baji. And this video will be a chapter review for chapter 13 of Letter from Keisuke Baji. And this chapter is the first chapter of volume 2. So far, this spin-off manga has done a great job of expanding the world of Tokyo Revengers, and I think that the world building has been very good. And this new volume will have many new revelations, and this new volume will also be a lot more action-focused. And the end of the last volume left us with a massive cliffhanger, and this volume picks up right where the last chapter left off, and we can see that a massive gang war is about to begin. And the start of this new volume shows us the beginning of this new gang war, and I think that the volume cover for volume 3 will show us Hishi Kojiro, and the reason why I say this is because he is supposed to be the main antagonist of this arc. And in my last video, I predicted that the founding members of Toman would appear in this manga, and in this theory, I predicted that the author would show us a Toman meeting. And if you guys have read chapter 14, then you should know that this theory actually came true, and we got to see this moment where Chifuyu met all the Toman captains for the very first time. And this chapter was a lot shorter than all the other chapters, and the reason why I say this is because this chapter was only 19 pages long. And this was a very action-focused chapter, and there are many awesome fight scenes that will take place in this chapter. Anyway guys, before I get into this video guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more Tokyo Revengers videos. So let's get into the video now. So in the last chapter, we saw that Hishi Kojiro was torturing Ryusei by hitting him in the head with a bat. And while this was happening we saw that Chifuyu suddenly moved his chair, and he stopped Kojiro from hitting Ryusei by jumping in front of the bat. And then Kojiro was getting ready to kill Chifuyu, however at the last second we saw that Baji suddenly made a very flashy entrance, and Baji saved Chifuyu by hitting the baseball bat out of Kojiro's hand. And then we saw that Baji pointed the baseball bat at Kojiro, and in this moment Baji was declaring war on the Yotsuya Kaidan gang. And at the beginning of this chapter the author is showing us that Baji just dropped his baseball bat on the ground, and in this moment Baji was staring at the gang members. And when Baji arrived on the scene we saw that the Yotsuya Kaidan gang members started sweating, and we could tell that they were very intimidated by Baji's presence. And when Baji realized that Chifuyu and Ryusei are beaten up, we saw that Baji immediately started glaring at Kojiro. And Kojiro just responded to this by smiling at Baji. And Kojiro said that he didn't expect Baji to come all by himself, and he also said that Baji is still the same as always. And Baji replied to this by saying that Kojiro hasn't changed either. And this moment is a big hint that Hishi Kojiro has a very important history with the first division of Toman. And the reason why I say this is because in this panel the author was trying to show us that Baji and Kojiro already know each other, and this dialogue really makes me think that we will get to see a backstory about these two characters. And I also think that we will get a backstory about how Ryusei joined Toman. And the reason why I say this is because in the last chapter we got to see the backstory of Ryusei, however this backstory still did not show us the moment where Ryusei joined Toman. Anyway guys, in the next scene we see that Chifuyu suddenly realized that this means that Baji already knows Kojiro. And in the next scene we see that Baji told Chifuyu to protect Ryusei, and he also told him to protect his friends. And then Baji told Chifuyu that he will deal with Kojiro while he gives them time to escape. And Chifuyu just responded to this by saying, yes, and while he was saying this we saw that he had blood dripping down his face. And in the next scene we get to see the beginning of Baji's battle with Kojiro, and we see that Kojiro was attacking Baji with a knife. And after witnessing Kojiro's attack, Chifuyu thought to himself that Kojiro is very fast, and he also thought that he is an impressive fighter. And then we see that Kojiro held up his knife into the air, and then Kojiro asked Baji if they should continue from last time, and in this moment Kojiro had a smile on his face. Anyway guys, in the next panel we suddenly saw that Kojiro slashed Baji across the face with his knife, and in this moment we saw that Baji started bleeding out from his cheek. And while he was getting slashed across the face, we see that Baji just asked Kojiro if this handicap is enough for him. And this piece of dialogue is showing us that Kojiro and Baji have fought each other before, and I think that we will learn more about this battle during Kojiro's backstory. Anyway guys, the next part of this chapter shows us that Chifuyu's friend was able to free him from the chair, and in this moment Chifuyu learned that his friend is the person who told Baji to come save them. And we also learned that his friend called the police, and this means that the police are on their way. And then Shifuyu told his friend to help the other people who have been injured, and Shifuyu also told him to escape. And Shifuyu's friend suddenly realized that Shifuyu was injured, so he told him to be careful. And then in the next page we see that Shifuyu suddenly started screaming out into the air, and he declared that he would save Ryusei. However, at the last second we saw that a gang member suddenly attacked Shifuyu, and he kicked Shifuyu in the stomach. And then the gang member said that he will not let Shifuyu get away. And Shifuyu replied to this by telling him to get out of his way. And then Shifuyu attacked the gang member with a kick from his left leg, and this kick sent his opponent flying to the ground. And Shifuyu was able to defeat his opponent with only a single kick. And then Shifuyu told them that they know damn well that he could easily escape, however Shifuyu said that he would never leave his friends behind. And after Shifuyu got done making this declaration, we saw that Ryusei suddenly appeared from behind Shifuyu, and Ryusei snuck up behind Shifuyu. And in this part of the chapter we got to see a massive plot twist, and in this moment Ryusei just started attacking Shifuyu, and he hit him in the back of the head with a punch from his left fist. And this attack knocked Shifuyu down to the floor. And in this moment Shifuyu became very confused, and he asked Ryusei what is he doing. And Ryusei replied to this by saying that Shifuyu doesn't understand anything, and he also said that he is a member of the Yotsuya Kaidan gang. And then Ryusei just said that his name is Ryusei Sato, and he also said that he is the Suicide Squad captain of the Yotsuya Kaidan gang. And then Ryusei started addressing Baji and Shifuyu, and he told them that from this day onward, they will be his enemies. And while he was saying this Ryusei had a very empty look on his face, and he looked like he was very depressed. And in these last two chapters we can see that Ryusei's personality has completely changed, and this is a completely different side to his personality. And we actually have seen this happen to Ryusei once before, and the moment that I am talking about is when he was fighting against the Killer Bee gang. Anyway guys, the next part of this chapter shows us Shifuyu's reaction to Ryusei's betrayal, and from his facial expression, we can tell that he was very surprised by this revelation. And we also saw that Baji reacted to this by having an angry look on his face. And then we saw that Kojiro suddenly attacked Baji with a knife, however Baji was able to dodge this attack. And Kojiro said that Toman is a ship that will eventually sink, and he also said that Ryusei made a very sensible decision to leave Toman. And then Baji responded to this by asking if that is a declaration of war against Toman. And out of nowhere we see that one of Kojiro's subordinates said that the police are about to arrive, and in this moment all of the gang members started running away. And Kojiro told Baji that before he couldn't care less about going to war, however after seeing the expression on Baji's face, he completely changed his mind. And then Kojiro said, "Excellent, July 7th. We will attack each other until one of us drops dead." And while he was saying this Kojiro was twirling around his knife, and he was also smiling at the same exact time. And then in the next panel we saw that Ryusei and Kojiro started walking away from the battlefield, and this moment is showing us that Ryusei has officially left Toman. And this moment is also showing us that Ryusei has teamed up with Kojiro. And while they were leaving, Shifuyu was screaming out to Ryusei, and he was asking him what the hell he is doing. And in this moment we can see that Kojiro was smiling. And in the last page of this chapter Ryusei started speaking to Baji and Shifuyu. And Ryusei just told them that he is very sorry about this. Anyway guys, in this last panel we can actually see that Ryusei has a snake tattoo on his neck, and the tattoos in Tokyo Revengers always have great symbolism. And in this case, the snake tattoo is symbolizing the fact that Ryusei will betray Toman, and this is actually not the first time that a snake has been used to foreshadow betrayal in Tokyo Revengers. And the reason why I say this is because during the Black Dragon's arc, the author showed us this colored illustration of Keisuke and Hanma, and in this illustration they were both wearing a snake jacket. And this snake symbol was foreshadowing the fact that they would betray Toman during the Christmas conflict. Anyway guys, this is the end of this video. Anyway guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, and want to see more like it, then like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.